Alright, tell us. Do we have this excellent connection?
No, it says warning.
It says warning?
Yeah, right there, see?
Warning?
It says warning. Yes.
Check the thing.
Yeah, it's here.
Are we making the sounds?
Yes, we are making many noise.
We're making noise? Is that a yes? You just throw your hands up in the air. You don't actually tell me things. I guess it's time for us to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the weekly WAYPN. Sonny's being super enthusiastic. I'm Karl.
And I'm Sunny,
aka
Henry, and Sangita.
Well, obviously somebody's in a grumpy mood. Why are you in such a grumpy mood?
Because I didn't like you joshing around.
Oh. Well, would you like to read this one out?
Yeah. After the review last night, I went back and tried to touch up Krennic's bass. Still need to edge rim it, but I am a lot happy with it now. Any thoughts and feedback? Welcome. I think it looks great. I think the OSL effect came through much better. A lot like this cleaner. I would say that for the bass itself, for the sake of contrast, I think maybe a dark gray or a steel would have been a better choice. We did steel for our basses. And then we did like a red, was it red? Red orange pigment powder to make it feel more like
Rust, yeah.
Well, I don't think it was for rust per se. It was more like the I don't know, Star Wars sand.
Oh, yeah, now I know what you're talking about. Sorry, I was thinking about the Kill Team peoples.
Yeah.
You know, and I was thinking about that.
You should open one of our pictures to show an example.
Okay, I will take a look. Alright, would you like to continue talking while I try and find that one?
Yeah, well, other than that, I think it looks much better than from last week. Really depends on your...
Which year was that?
Probably 24 or 25. At a point.
I think it might be 23.
No.
Yeah.
I will. Okay, definitely not 25. Probably 24.
Okay.
5 stores.
I don't see it there.
Not be serious.
The 22?
No, definitely not.
Did you remember to put it in?
I thought there was one. Was it?
I don't think you've been putting the things in.
There it is.
Where?
Here.
Yeah, under which?
24.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. See these ones. Oh, you did like a stripy thing. You did stripy thing. I'm gonna send this to you.
Yeah, just give me. Found it. Alright.
Oh, you found it? Okay.
So, which one do you want us to bring
let's
up?
just put the droids, because the droids show like 2 different types.
Okay,
wait.
give me a minute.
Sorry, you should show this one. You should show this one.
Okay.
The commandos. That's too low.
Yeah. Commando group shot.
Yeah, anyone? Oh, look, honey, look. There's just a pure basis up there that you've done. See?
Oh, okay.
Just
all
show
right,
that.
sure.
Yeah.
So here is what Sonny wants to show you.
Yes, see, and I think it's yeah.
So I'll go a bit the opposite of Sonny. I think that the basing's really done well. I think that you could use some panel liner in here just to increase the depth of that those cracks. But other than that, I really like this improvement from last time. It does look like a little bit more exciting of a bass, but I feel like if you're pushing more at this point in time, you're sort of going to the next level. I do think your model is actually at the next level, but I think as artists, we have to be able to step away from our models at a certain point. And I think that is the I think that's the issue. You can really go crazy with these things, and we often do. All right, let us move on to our next one.
There'll be a penguin in
Yes,
the
a
place.
penguin, but
And
there's
a
no
rumble.
bear anywhere.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright, okay, so we've got Joseph. These modern hero quest models that I've washed are repelling primer. They're totally not going to cause endless problems as I work on them. Ideal for what will likely be a lot of children's first painting experience. That's
Okay,
sad.
so it depends on how you've washed them. That's the first thing, right? So, my first thought would be, all right, like my ideal is, of course, just use the dish soap and toothbrush combo, and that will deal with most things. But if it's still doing this, maybe it's worth using the isopropyl alcohol on them and just scrubbing them up that way. So, yeah, I'm sorry that this is like I have very mixed feelings about the new Hero Quest because apparently they're getting rid of some of the old monsters, and I understand why. Because the Famirs reproduce the same way that the Goblin Slayer goblins reproduce.
But I don't think that's gonna be popping up like as a
Yeah, and see, like unless you dig into it, like, and bad guys are bad guys. Like that is why these are a race of monsters that you must destroy, right?
yeah.
Like it's just like the undead, right? When the undead rise from their graves, you don't go, "Oh well, they were human once."
Yeah,
You
just
just you kill the monsters. That's what you do.
yeah.
But yeah.
Well,
All right, let us move on. Oh, there is a
there
ghost.
is a bear, a ghost bear.
No, it's a bear, not a ghost, because
I
we've
said
got
a
a different.
ghost bear.
No, just bear, because we've got a ghost who is a different person.
Yeah, but this is a ghost bear.
Who's up next?
We have Cal, the treasure piece from the Goblin King, done separately. So I'm assuming that the green skulls is because they're goblins. No, wait, that's not goblin skulls.
I think it's probably just to give some different colors in there.
Yeah,
And honestly, I like that.
it feels very aged. Like in a way that it's like, the moss or whatever has sort of crept into the skull and the cracks and all that. But it's very nice because you have a lot of good variation here. You got steel, wood.
Which I think
Bronzy
we
gold.
should point out has been Cal's weakness for a while. And I think it's important to acknowledge when people have moved away, or rather stepped up. Because, like, it is so easy to fall back to our bad habits. And I think it's not a lot, and it doesn't have to be a lot, especially not for tabletop.
Yeah, for sure.
Just doing this is
more
great.
than enough, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Jack say corrosion can leach to things in its surrounding.
Yeah.
Larry, just working on some of the little bits of the castle decoration. So
Looks
I
like,
thought it was just a skull,
but
it's
we got some red candles
Oh,
here.
lovely red candles. Very nicely done. And this
Yeah.
is the thing that I'm a little confused. What is it? Like just a skeleton? Like it's
No, I
closed.
think it's just a skull. It's
Just a skull. Okay, yeah. Because
just
like,
so there's a skull. This is
'cause it's
one
like all
skull,
black and then.
and then this is a different skull.
Oh, so there's just different skulls. Well, they are looking quite white for the skulls. I would recommend putting a bit of Seraphim Sepia or like Skeleton Horde wash over it just to bring it back to a bit more of a bony color.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, the values have been set very nicely. So just some sort of a tint
Yep.
to put on top to get a bit more boniness into it. All right.
All right. So up next we have Cal.
Cal. Vampire sarcophagus seems active, and the way that he's done the stone, like that greenish stone, it really looks like something that was sort of left alone for a very long time. You know, like how some marble or stone, polished stone surfaces out in the forest will have that look, because it just, like, you know, grime from the outdoors start to
seep in, moss and, you know, slime and such.
And I think that's actually his strong point. Like, he really makes those environmental pieces look very realistic when he does things like that. It does
good texture, but there is one thing that I'll say, like, color theory wise, I think he could have gone for some different brighter yellow golds, because these golds sort of blend in once again over here.
Yeah.
And see, like, I don't think it's him being lazy at all. See, like, I just think he's like, all right, I'll do gold for this. I'll do this effect for the stone, right?
I actually think it would have looked even better if he did it in like an onyx black, and then after that maybe do like some gold trimming or detailing.
We'll see, like, I don't think that's Cal's style, and I think we have to work with what people do. So what I would have done is, let's say I'm just doing tabletop, I would have done this with a very bright gold, maybe something like Viking gold, right? Viking gold or Dwarven gold,
and
right?
this is from the scale 75
from
set?
scale 75. Let's see, what do I have over here? I'll just type in Viking gold scale 75. Okay, so that is a lot darker than it is,
in
isn't
the
it?
picture.
Yeah. Okay, let's see.
I feel like this gold looks closer to a necro gold, the one that he's used, because the necro gold is like a gold.
Yeah, I'd say maybe the Dwarven gold, right? And the reason for that would be because you've got such this grimy green, right? But I'd put that on and then just dry brush a steel to sort of give the idea, you know, you've got this burnished metal and then you've got just like this grimy stone. But like, yeah, because like I said, I want to stay within like, I want to stay within people's zone. Like, you don't want to give them advice where it's like, all right, well, you know, you should have just done some true metallic metal. I mean, obviously.
Like, but
and it's like, that's not tabletop. But yeah, so like, I think he did really well. But yeah, I think like just a little improvement on the color theory side would have improved this a lot. All right, so next up we have Tomas.
Yes. Small whip of Sergeant Joven. I finally get last Friday. Armor is after lighter global wash, hence weird clay color debris in some nooks and crannies. It will be nullified later by a dark pin wash. Okay.
Oh yeah, you go with that. You go with that because there's something that I've got to find while you talk about that.
Penguin say you merely adopted the sneak at Ghost Bear. I was born into it, molded by it. I didn't see the light until I was already adult penguin. That's funny. But yeah, I was actually telling Cal about this earlier. About how you can. There's so many different variations of painting an ultramarine. Doesn't really seem to be a proper definition for what ultramarine's blue is. Ironically,
yeah.
You know, it's not actually ultramarine blue. But some of the times it's like a cobalt blue. Like even in the GW website, it doesn't really look like a cobalt blue at all. Like some people do palish yellow, bright blue, dark blue. But no matter how you do it, it still somehow turns out looking like ultramarines, funnily enough. So, because I took a look at this blue and I thought to myself, hey, it actually would look great on a Night Lords instead of an ultramarine, but for some reason it still fits.
Okay, so there's something I have to ask Tomas. So I'm gonna put it in here so that people have a bit of a record of it. But so there okay. When we put his thing up, I can't. You put it up in one of the shorts. I can't remember what you put up. I think you were talking about like battle damage, and you're like, battle damage, Tomas, let's do it.
Yeah, like, I use Tomas for a lot of references. Yeah, and
but yeah, so somebody replied in the thing. He said, Tomas Poliska Gurum.
Polska Gurum.
Yeah, and like, yeah, and like, there's a lot of exclamation marks around that, and I'm like, I must know.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? What does it mean?
But yeah, I do see the sort of whitish tail things happening in the indents, especially on the backpack there.
Yeah, you're talking about the collection of dust and such.
Yeah, but that's not what he intended. Like, it's because of something. Yeah, like he said, weird clay color debris in some nooks and crannies. He doesn't intend for that to be there.
Yeah, so you get that because of your pigment powder, and your pigment powder leaks into those things once water is applied.
Right.
And like, it will naturally seek out the crevices just like other things will. But let's move on, because he actually finishes this piece a little later on. I do believe so. I hope I'm not crazy.
Next we have Jose.
Ah, yes, Jose.
It's been a hobby busy weekend for me. 4 Hero Quest doors started and finished, some priming done, and a whole load of groundwork spread around over 32 models. And I have to say, I really like these doors.
I have to say that the female character is very Kingdom Death-esque.
Are you sure that isn't Kingdom Death?
I don't know.
I really don't think GW would make a skull.
No,
like
it's
that.
not GW who's making it. It's some subsidiary of Hasbro. I've forgotten.
Oh, really? Okay.
Ah, yeah.
Anyhow, Penguins say Army Painter's Ultramarine Blue is very desaturated compared to Vallejo Game Color's version.
Well, Vallejo Game Color is always going to be more saturated because it's Game Color rather than
just a regular.
No, because they've got game
model color.
Model color,
because that one's for more not army, like, proper historical war games. So yeah. Rumble say Penguins are the sneaky Urbies of animals. I can't think of a mech warrior or mech or clan to relate to Ghost Bear. Isn't Ghost Bear the clan itself?
Yes,
like,
that's the joke.
Okay.
All right.
Magic Blue. Yeah, Magic Blue.
It's Member Monday. # Member Monday. A digital place is unlike reality. A real place will always shape its people. Cold, harsh winters will make severe people. Consistent, pleasant temperatures will make easygoing people. We are all shaped by where we live. But here, online, there are rules. But people have to but rules have to be enforced. And if they're not, the rules mean nothing. I mean, how many people do you see being arrested for leaving pies on windowsills? So it is important to remember, without these constraints of reality online, there is only one thing that makes a digital place where people gather. The people. And I'm really glad of the community we have made here. A welcoming and inviting one. So with all of that said, let us welcome our newest member. We have just one question for you. Make a post about it and get some love. And, as per always... Oh my god.
You hit everything. Of course you did.
Yeah, that was me. Totally not.
I was also attacked by this earlier today.
Were you?
Yeah.
Alright, how do I...
Yeah,
I
just
click
go
here.
there and then all comment.
Yeah. Yeah. And as per always, they put their thing. Now, I know usually I don't comment on such things, but it's looking good, and I like the way that the camo patterning is going, my dude. But just remember, please post on the things.
Make your own post.
I'm a little worried to press this close
It'll
thing.
Be fine.
It'll
Don't
be fun.
do that. Press the X button.
Alright. Will we go back to WAYPN?
Yes.
Hopefully. Alright, there's a lot of blurriness. Alright, and I will close this. That is why we do not do it, my dude, because we risk everything. We risk losing the stream for doing that.
Yeah.
So please, Callum, do not. That is why we get a little nervous when such things happen.
Yes.
Alright, so next up we have...
Okay. Larry.
We have okay.
We have Larry. I was just
Is
looking
Larry
at the
okay,
comments. I was just see, yeah, Larry's always okay. Except for when a dust storm comes, then he's not okay.
What about Annie?
Annie,
Is she okay?
I don't know.
Annie, are you okay?
She has not been okay for 20 years? How long has that song?
Well, it depends whether we're going with MJ or Alien Ant Farm. Alien Ant, Now I'm gonna have to look things up. All right, you do things while I.
Oh no! Okay. Something bad happened. Okay, a little work in orange. Added orange to highlight the hair, then
Holy
a thin layer of an orange gold mix for the brights. Orange gold? Okay. For Craven's loincloth, that will end up being a cheetah skin, base coated with orange leather, so the main colors would be a little darker than with white prime. Then lay it up with Mars orange, then mixed with orange, and finally with a little gold. Thinning the mix with a touch extra water as I went up in brightness. The bricks are the dark red, then I used an AK weathering pencil. I actually read that as AK weathering, but it's AK. To highlight the edges and make scratches and so forth. The white cement areas will be toned down and shaded later.
So apparently the Alien Ant Farm, I don't know why I can't say ant at the moment. The Alien Ant Farm version came out in 2001. So it is 24 years old now.
Wah.
So that makes me feel old. But what makes me feel even older is the MJ one came out in 1988.
Wow.
It's almost 40 years old now. Just a year or two.
Annie? Why is she not okay?
Well, she probably has a bad back by now.
Penguin says he loves the AK weathering pencils. I think we have some weathering pencils. I don't know whether it's by AK, but we do have some weathering pencils. And haven't used a single one of them since buying it, as you do. And this is looking pretty good. I actually quite
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. I like the rip stone, the gravestone. I think that looks extra gravestony.
What about the ripped man?
The ripped man is looking ripped. He said he's gonna do that in cheetah.
Well,
skin.
we're gonna see that a little later on because he actually does a bit more work on this guy, but
Yeah.
I don't think more work on the girls.
But man, that American red brick, so red.
Yeah, it is. It is quite red. It seems almost a bit too vibrant for
Yeah.
red brick.
Yeah.
All right,
So
let us
take
move
a
on.
look. We'll take a look. See. All right, we have Hazik. It's been so long since Hazik has shown up here. I think.
Ooh.
But this is looking cool. The new Knight Zephyros sculpt just a simple head swap for this Stormcast hero. Oh yeah, I didn't even think that it was Stormcast until you said it.
Well, I think it's all because of the head.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we talked so much about how, like, the head is just the one thing that changes the Stormcast Eternal. I think that they just look so much different once you just change the helmet.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, just change the helmet and the entire look changes.
Trying to take a look at the red cape at the back.
Yep.
I like the way that you've done the undercape. I think the undercape is good to keep it that sort of very dark, desaturated red, moving into black shadow. But I think for the top, it's a bit too harsh. And the shade, the transition is
Okay,
too
you're talking about here?
yeah, correct.
Yeah, okay.
It's too close together, the gradient. So it's like
Yeah,
black,
okay.
dark red, and then it's like super vibrant red at the very edges. What you could do is, if you still want to do that, I would recommend doing the black and then the dark red, and then highlighting wherever you see the light hit the model naturally. Like there's this very
Along
clear,
here, like,
like
yeah.
there's very obvious clear white highlights that appear right. That is where you should be putting in like slightly, just like 1 or 2 tones brighter for the highlight, not that bright.
I think with this color scheme, this could be something that we could copy for the Scaventide guys. What do you think?
But why?
To give them a more grim dark look instead of like the goldish appearance. What are your thoughts?
Oh, for the Stormcast.
Yes, for the Stormcast.
Yeah.
I think it's a good, like, fairly muted color scheme.
Yeah, correct. Because like you got very bright steels, but you've got the muted reds with muted blues, just a touch of saturation at the very tips. I think it does have a very grim, a fairly grim, darkish look to it.
Yeah. All right, let us move on to
Alex.
He has reappeared.
After 10 years, he has returned to us.
He has painted a face.
Actually managed to sit at the painting desk today. Hooray! And he has painted more than a face, actually. He started off with the...
only face.
The hands.
Don't worry about anything else.
He's
only
got
face.
the face beard.
Only face.
It's looking great, man.
Don't talk about anything
Tim
else. Only
says
face.
the skin looks amazing. Henry says, is that whip sticker something you can add to photos from Facebook or something? No. No, it's not. I added using Snapseed. Just using the text function. Very interesting. Yeah.
Well, I just thought it's just a good thing. Like, it's just very clean.
I know this because I have seen Alex's Instagram before, and he has that whip sticker on his other whips.
Fine. Okay, we can move on. I get it. Alright, so next up we have Tim.
Sorry it's been a while, everyone. Work/life got crazy busy, but I finished a group of Stormcast I was on, so now I am painting something for me and my armies again. One side of scales done, one to go. It is a very mosaic looking lizard boy, I will say that much.
So Jack just asked a question. Does fluorescent Vallejo paint mix well with non-fluorescent paint? In my opinion, no, because it's quite watery. Like it's
It's
just
like it usually fluoro paint is like quite transparent. Yeah, you want to put like a white base on the bottom or something, and then put the fluoro paint over top, and then have You know who knows the answer? El Miniaturista. I've seen him do some pretty great work with the.
before we go on to rants about random other things. What are your thoughts on Tim's paint job here?
I think it's a very interesting choice actually for this sort of coloration for a natural animal. I mean, of course, paint however you like. I think it is interesting. I don't know how to feel about it actually. It's great in terms of color theory, but in terms of like for a creature, it just feels a little too out there. I don't know. But I mean, the scales are looking quite nicely done up, and I like how he's done the fade of that light purple underbelly going up into a slightly more darker purple on the top. Then you've got, well, I guess you could think of it as these are their battle markings, like the what are these people called again? The dinosaur people, lizard men. Yeah, the lizard men.
You'll find they're called sauruses.
Saurus or Seraphon. Yeah, little dinosaurs riding other dinosaurs. But yeah, maybe they just painted them like a marking sort of thing. In that sense, I think, okay, makes sense, you know. That's the reasoning behind it. Why not? I think it looks very interesting. They look like little running artwork, actually. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I think it's too early to say anything. Of course, there's more shading and dry brushing and all that to be done. But I think it's going in the right direction, I think. I don't know.
All right, so my thoughts are I think, like, obviously a work in progress, but I think a unifying sort of wash will really help with things, because I think at the moment it's just too distinctly separated currently. You know, the way that he's done everything.
I think in that case, what he needs to do is to just blend, create like a transitionary shade.
No. I'm not talking. I'm not talking about a blend. What I'm talking about is a wash, because we got this purple underneath here, right? And he's got these sorts of things here, and like this does appear in the natural world. These pretty radical color shifts, right? But it just looks very odd now because these scales have no depth yet. And like, I do know it's a work in progress, but yeah, so I'll look forward to
Yeah, but I still think like doing it sort of wet blended between the different colors, right, is probably why it was throwing me off earlier. Because like, if you take a look at T-Rexes or any sort of dinosaurs, like when you have different patterning also, it's all sort of blended in to each other.
I wonder if we should just put feathers on the Saurus Warriors, because apparently they all had feathers on them.
Feathers sound nice.
Yeah, we just airbrush it and then put actual feathers on, and then just go, done, chicken dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have feathers.
Where do we have feathers?
They're with the fur.
Oh, we do, but that's too big.
No, they're quite small.
No, they're too large. If you look at it again, you will see.
Well, anyway, it's time for us to move on.
We have Iskandar. Goals for this session. 1. I have forgotten how Reichland flesh shade looks like on the model, so I'm rediscovering the paint, I guess. 2. Color scheme, my weakness. So I'm trying to see if I can make it look good color-wise. 3, I want to paint butts. Optional reading.
Busts or butts?
Butts.
Okay.
Correctly spelled butts.
Okay.
Okay. Optional reading. I broke her right ankle when transferring her from the painting base to the proper base.
I know that feeling.
A few years back, everyone was crazy about Reikland Flesh Shade, even the top pros. I forgot why I stopped using it. So I grabbed the closest model I have and just started painting with it. In conclusion, maybe I'll use it for bust paintings, but I don't think I'll be reaching for it regularly. Currently, I'm preferring a more saturated color style. I didn't have any color scheme when I started, only that I want to use the flesh shade for the skin and blue for the nuts and bolts thingy on her body. Every other color was picked with those two in mind. Still enamored with fluorescent paints, I'm just finding excuses to reach for it. I think it has a very, what is that? Nerf meets Necromunda Escher. That's what it feels like. I mean, look at that orange.
Orange is very bright. It does feel like it has like a particularly 90s style.
Yeah.
Like it does feel like you know the things where it's all triangles and lightning bolts and it's like welcome to the 90s or like Synthwave or something like
isn't
that.
that 80s though?
No.
Yeah, that's 80s. 90s though.
It's well, like definitely the aesthetic of Synthwave.
This feels like Ben 10 or something. You know what I mean?
Well, anyway, as to the painting of butts, I think like you ironically have a bit too much gradation.
No, I think it's because the ass cheek has not enough shadow.
Like in here, in the crack, or
yeah, like right underneath the bum,
Yeah.
there, it needs to have that same darkness that you have right here.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like the gradation is too gradual. You need to have like a more dramatic shift.
So like what he has there is fine, right? It just needs that brown, just a thin line right underneath to carve out cheeks, as he has done with the boobies. Wait, no, the boobies is the Reikland Flesh Shade scene. Oh, ooh.
But yeah, no, I think it's looking good. I think that there's too much gradation here. I'd say like if you wanted butts to look more realistic, you want like because remember skin is highly reflective, right? It's like almost and sometimes more reflective than metals. Especially white skin like I got, you know, the cloud skin. So like this is a very pale girl, so like what I would have done, so see this sort of thing here, I would have brought that up to between the cheeks and then
just underneath.
See the sort of
folds.
Darkest brown he has here. I would have like probably brought that up around here.
Yeah, and just taper it off as you go towards the end of the butt cheek.
I don't think that the tapering is as effective as you think it is. I think it's like I'm not saying like a solid color, right? I'm saying maybe because the gradation makes it look like she's got really fatty cheeks.
Yeah.
Right, and what like as far as I know, the fantasy of this aesthetic is she's a very fit girl in, you know, almost nothing at all, right? And so with that, you want to have those more sharp definitions to give the idea of physical fitness. Yeah. But yeah, that's my thoughts.
I thought the colors look fine. Like,
I think that I think that the base is the best bit. I'll see. Yeah, like here, this I'd say is probably her golden angle, right? like that base came up really well with the glow. I don't think that the face did that well. Because like with the mask and everything, it's really hard to sort of see anything here. Like even if you wanted to shadow the eyes, like I would have gone like for a very deep brown or possibly even a black to give like a menacing look. But yeah, probably a very dark brown because like it's almost yellowish here, would you say?
Yeah, it does look that way.
And like I think that doesn't help her. So unless you're trying to give the appearance of like a sort of cosplaying unfit chick, the way that the gradations are currently working sort of work against you and make her look a little fatty because of the way things are. And like that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the idea is, you know, if you're not matching your efforts towards your vision, you're doing it wrong. Like it doesn't matter. Like if you want to paint, like if she's meant to be a bit on the chubbier side, I think it's pretty much fine, right? Except that you want like that darkness along that crack there. But if you want a really fit chick, which the model suggests, you want to work on those shadows.
Yeah.
All right, shall we move on?
Yep.
All right, so next up, we have Chester.
I got a big burst of productivity yesterday. Slay the Grey.
Nice, yes.
These are
And
looking good.
yes, I do believe Slay the Grey is Ninjon.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't care whose title you take, just so long as you paint your minis.
And keep those brushes wet.
Yeah, okay, that's kind of counter to that thought of like we don't care who's. Never mind.
Keep
Never
those
mind.
brushes wet.
All right, what are your thoughts?
I think it's looking good. I mean, it's a whip. You know?
Yeah.
It's a great base. What I like are the bases are attracting my attention a lot. I wonder if he made that himself or...
No,
if it
he
was
definitely
sculpted.
made that himself. Definitely. 100%.
You have to believe. Well, I do see in the background a piece of cork on another base, so yes.
Yeah, no, he
Confirm
definitely made that because
homemade
like
bases.
I think this one is one of the more interesting ones I think, but I'm really liking the start on this guy with the damage and such.
Yeah.
Like each of the guys are a bit further along than each other. Like this guy looks similar. Maybe we'd see more if he was sort of angled the way that guy is, but I'm really liking the way that guy's going.
Yeah.
All right, let us move on.
Thomas. That's probably all I'll be able to do for Joven today. A bit of details that aren't visible at first glance, but are crucial for overall look.
So,
Oh man, check that out. Look at the scripture on... That's looking nice.
it is looking very, very nice.
You know what I also enjoy is that he has done the tabard in a very obviously Romanesque style, like a Roman style.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just a
Well,
little
I'd say
white
that's
cloth.
almost Greek.
Yeah, potato when it comes to like style influences, right? They kind of have very similar styles, right? And the leather work on the pouches.
Oh, yeah, the leatherwork on the pouches is absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love them.
You love the leather.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We're always a big sucker for nice leather.
Yeah.
So, Tomas answered me somewhere else. So, I said, what does this mean? You want to say the thing?
Polska Górom.
He says, it's a Polish insider joke on national complexes not being too smart and about Polish grammar and like it not being so correct. The correct phrase is Poliska Gora. Um, and it means,
Colon on the top.
yeah, and it means Poland one, and it's written, um, written,
It's written incorrectly
yeah,
as
and he's
Gura.
incorrectly written.
Yeah. As
Um,
6 and U sound the same in Polish, but distinction is in the writing is important. And sounds similar to ah.
yeah, but see, these are accented ones,
Yeah, so
so
I don't know
like
how
that's.
to say like oh. Is it like oh like that? I don't know.
We'll see, like this one. I don't know what this accented O is compared to, like
Like
an
an A.
umlaut. An
Yeah,
umlaut
umlaut.
is you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know some German, like a Guten Tag, like not really that much at all. I know a couple of swears which I won't repeat. But yeah, so yeah, like I just wanted to clear that up before we moved on because I
Very
was like,
interesting.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
Poland on top.
Yes, that's what that comment meant.
Ray! Yay!
All right, so next up we've got Jay.
Oh, this one. I love this one. Whip. Been away from the brushes for nearly a year, but jumped back in at the deep end with lead boots on. Changed my mind on the armor plating color after starting it the normal mid purple. Yes, I am a glutton for punishing myself. Lots of tidying to do on this part and a bit more blending on the carapace on the to-do list. Suggestions for the tail mandibles needed. I looked at this and I thought, wow, it's so clean. I love the gradient on the carapace and the way that he's done the skin. It's like it's a very lovely contrast with that pink going into that peach
Cream, yeah.
Cream, and then and with like more fleshy colors. I think it's looking really good. But yeah, I guess I can see what you mean by needing to do a little bit more blending on the carapace. But I mean, he's looking pretty good.
Look, there's a thing that's going all around the internet at the moment, and I hate to be the person who jumps on trends, but there's a thing that's going around, and essentially I've said versions of this, and lots of people have said other versions of this. Like the saying is, first make it exist and then make it perfect. And essentially that's another way of saying perfect is the enemy of the good, perfect is the enemy of the done, is one of the things that I say. But I think it's looking fine at the moment. I think if you push too much to refine it, you might risk making it look a bit chalky. I think it looks good at the moment. It's got some pretty intense contrast, which is something that you want. So I think all of that's good. I'm going to look forward to seeing what you do with the other parts of this.
He wants suggestions for tail mandibles.
The tail mandibles. Okay.
So black with dark gray edge highlights.
I'm not so sure. Because it goes into that cream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he's got these here, right? And they feel like they suit the tail area much more.
What about the amble?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking about too.
Find the amble. It is definitely very early on.
Yeah.
Fruits, Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah. So, do you want me to go and grab it?
I'll grab it since I'm here. I'll just throw this. She's a lady.
Yes, it is, lady. Beautiful lady.
A beautiful lady.
It's gonna take a while, especially since you clicked off it.
It'll be fine. Look, he's moving. So,
Okay, so this is what we're talking about. Or you could possibly invert those colors so that down the bottom is the darker color.
it's up to you.
Yeah, but that's one of the ways to go. One of the
Yeah.
ways to go. All right. Shall we move on?
Sure. Okay, next we have.
Oh, it's
you.
me. Talk Tuesday. All right. It's Talk Tuesday. Hashtag Talk Tuesday. What do you use your miniatures for? And if you use them for a combination of all stuff, just let us know what you use them for.
Like James added board games there.
Yes, he did. So it seems like people use them for a combination of all of the above: role-playing games, skirmish games, war games. But it seems like painting them and war games are the top choices beyond just painting them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's interesting to learn why you guys paint these things, because that also informs us to like what motivates you to paint.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and next up is us. So if you're on the chat, you could come and talk to us. It is possible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that I have actually gone the wrong way with these. So I really like the internal parts of it. I think the internal parts of it are good, but I think that the external is bad.
Maybe white would have been a better option.
For the
I don't know.
the outside.
Yeah, like the.
Well, so the reason is because each of these are functional game tokens, right? So the bottom one here is the aggressive stat. The bottom one here is the aggressive stat. And the bottom one here is the aggressive stat. And the top ones for each is the defensive stat. And as you can see, they're yellow, blue, and red. So intimidate is strong against empathy. Empathy is strong against reason. Reason is deduction. No, hold up. I said empathy is strong against reason. Reason. Where have I gone? Reason is strong. Yes, reason is strong against deduction. Deduction is strong against guile. And guile is strong against conviction. Conviction is strong against intimidate. There we go. I squared that circle. Alright, so each of them sort of have a color map to help you identify what you're actually using them for.
Yeah.
So I wanted to keep this here, like the red, but I thought maybe we paint that red and we get the blue, red, and yellow marker pens like I did for up here, and paint that area, the area that's currently black, red instead. What do you think?
I am confused.
Okay, you see the area that's currently black?
Yeah.
Yes, they are 3D printed.
Yeah, with the FDM, right?
No, they were printed with a
Resin.
yeah, with a resin printer.
Feel like it. Are you sure? It felt and looked a lot like it was.
No.
Okay.
So you see where these parts are black on the side, the little markings?
Yeah. Rims.
Yeah. So I'm saying that we invert those. That those red areas become black and that the black areas become red.
We can try.
Yeah. Well, because the problem is, as you can see up here, when I put the marker pen along them, it just consumed too much of the red down below. So I used the black marker pen to fill in all of this stuff here because the white is actually the color underneath everything.
Yeah, the recessed parts. And
Yeah.
it's a pretty deep recess too, which is great.
It's not that deep though.
It's pretty deep, honey.
Not that deep. Like, for example, I just slid them across the top and that black got filled in. So, it's not that deep. Alright, should we move on? So, next up, we have Jamster.
Yeah. We've got Scatter Terrain Whip. And it's looking very whippy. I like that he's used the popsicle sticks for the fans. That's nice. I don't know what that is.
I think that's meant to be some sort of scatter terrain. So I think that okay. So here's my bits of advice, right? Now, like, always use what you've got access to, right? Of course, but my opinion is that these could be improved by an infinite amount if you just use a secondary material. So in this case, that would be coffee stirrer sticks instead of just paddle pop sticks. So you see that beam you've got running across?
That would have been nicer with the coffee stirrers.
Yeah, and that's it. And just having that level of variation is good. Also, a wire brush will really help bring out the texture of each of these. So just keep that in mind. It's all looking pretty good.
I like that actually, the way he splintered the. Oh, he's grabbed all the caps that he had cut off for making the fence and glued them together to like something.
But see, like Sunny said, she doesn't know what this is. So you have to make some sort of way to make this identifiable. Like, if this is, like, my thought was that one of the things that you could do here is add some texture paste around it, and these could all be like little fire pits. Just have them black, hit them with your timber colors, and then just have little embers of red and yellow in there. I think that could look good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about all. I think
I like the wagon.
Yeah, the cart, yeah. Yeah, I think that looks good too. Yeah, just pretty simple things. Nothing crazy, but I will enjoy seeing it progress. Alright, so next up we have Bleeding Eye Larry.
Larry. Okay, I'm done. Added a little off-white around the edges of the eyes and reinforced the blood tears and messy mouth. Used dry ice and water to make some fog to recreate a London street. Then used special magic powers to solidify it so it looks like cotton. Roughly glued to the face. Black. It's cute.
So I still feel like the eyes are off quite a bit.
Yeah.
Like they just.
I think it still needs a little bit of a cleanup, Larry.
Yeah.
Like just around the eyes. I know what you're going for, and it looks good. It just needs to really stay in its lane.
Stay in your lane.
Other than that, he's a cute little guy. And what a cute little like fuzzy. I think for fog, you might actually consider pulling the cotton a bit further apart to create it, make it feel a bit more wispy.
I think one of the key things to using cotton can't be done now, which is airbrushing the cotton. Like, remember?
No airbrushing.
No, can I finish my sentence,
Okay.
please? Do you remember when we airbrushed the cotton pieces that we used for the fog walls?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Right, and how like they stiffen up and like they've got a completely different feel and texture to them once you do that.
Yeah, but He wants to go for like I still don't think that's a nice look. Like I prefer the way that Brushstrokes did it, where he just used
with the pigment powder.
pigment powder. Like that makes more sense because like that's kind of the whole point of using cotton is to give that wispy cloud look. But then when you start seeing those clumpiness from the
It doesn't.
airbrush.
It doesn't look as clumpy as you think it does. I'm gonna go and find the thing now that you are complaining. All right, you can talk more about the next one
Okay.
because you are a grump.
Larry tried instant color human flesh by scale 75 on Craven skin just to see what it does. Actually, not bad. Decent enough if you just want to do a quick army or figure and a shot on time for the game. Just use it on white. Front turned out okay compared to unpainted photo, while the darker, still black or gray areas of skin at the back still look largely black. I might actually leave the front alone on this and just touch up the dark areas. Also used some medium gray panel liner on the cement between the brick. I think I'm happy at least for now. I'll see how I feel when I'm done with the band and added grass. Anyway, I also tidied up the girl's face and a little with the little highlights and some shading just below the eyes, then hit a few remaining details like the butt plates and strap on the gun and so forth. Just have to finish the base and done, I think.
Well, progress is progress, and it's looking good, and it will be very interesting to see how this base looks once there's some grass on it. But here is more what I was talking about, how like they feel more billowy the way that they are there compared to kind of like caterpillar. Well, like out of context on the snowy base, I can see why you say that, but yeah, they're fog walls for Frostgrave, and yeah, they're just meant to be this thing which people can step through, but they block line of sight. And so this is roughly the shape they're meant to be. All right, so yeah, that's essentially my thought. Like, give that texture to them, so that like, cause it's a bit like if you go back and we see here's one here, right? Even here we can see how fuzzy it is, but it reduces the fuzziness so much when you airbrush it. But we will move on. Sunny doesn't agree. Just crying.
Ryan is next. Hashtag whip witness. A bit early for October, but I need Ulag ready for the next quest and hero quest. This fantastic print from Dragon's Dream 3D has been a fun grimdark palette cleanser with a great old hammer vibe. The print quality is top notch. Go check out Dragon's Dream 3D's Etsy store. They have a whole range of hero quest proxies to use instead of the usual Dread Sorcerer. Painted mostly with Speed Paints 2.0, but rediscover how good Warpaint's Fanatic metallics from the Army Painter are. I also stumbled upon a great recipe for aging copper and bronze. Initially, I had used just green tone wash to darken and a recess wash for the copper shield, but it didn't quite do the job I was after. So I threw together in equal parts Lizard Folk Cyan, Speed Paint 2.0, green tone wash, Speed Paint medium, 1:1:1, and painted in the dark green weathering into the recesses on the shield. The mix was transparent enough that with a bit of water I could easily feather out the transition. I then used a very thin down wash of verdigris effect paint to add some verdigris in the recesses and some streaks. I could easily call him done now, but I may add a bit of blood and rust. The Ulag is more than ready now for the Lair of the Orc Warlord quest at the weekend.
I think that he looks absolutely fantastic, and I do think that he has very much an old hammer feel to him. I really like the way that you've done the shield. I think that that looks great, and as far as prints go, that's fantastic because I don't see layer lines
Oh
anywhere.
yeah, it's
You know,
really
like
good.
that's one of the key things when it comes to 3D prints. Can you see layer lines everywhere? Yes,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, so like when it comes to all of that, that's one of the big things. Um, right. So, where are we? My thoughts on it. I got to use my words. I think he looks
Words.
really good. I don't think put anything extra on him. You know, like this looks great. He looks fine. Like I think you can of course always push your miniatures, but sometimes being done is good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else I would do better with this because, like, you've done really well with the aged metal look, and the green really pops against the rest of the mini. Everything is picked out that I can see and tell what every single element is on this model,
Mm.
and it's painted to a very nice, beautiful quality. So I think you've definitely put a lot of effort into it. I think I would call him done. I think you are calling him done as well. I think it's very nice.
Yeah. All right. Let us move on.
Okay.
Next up, we have Liam.
Hey, Liam. My work in progress for this week. Looks like Liam's just sort of taken away the veiny parts and just leaving the eye as is, like that, I think.
I think he's focusing on getting the white around the eye correct,
Yeah.
and then just like he put in the Seraphim Sapia right to give a bit more contrast to the fangs compared to the fur, like I
Yeah, I
talked
think that
about.
looks much better now.
So I think he took on all of the advice that we had on board. Like, I think that he got to do this, and then he's just like,
I think I
"Man,
will
I'm done."
don't want to ruin it anymore or something.
Yes,
Yeah,
something like
I'll
that.
say being done is good. Is something I think a lot when I look at the eye of the deep mini.
Yeah, totally. Like I felt that when I compared it to this, where you've done a lot of little bits of extra work, and I'm like, yeah, I can feel like just the desire to be done.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have RJ.
RJ. One of the people in the KDM Discord and I decided to send one another something to paint. This is what I was sent to paint and the progress I've made on her so far. Lots to do still, but she's coming along.
I'd say like other than the skin, everything is looking really really good, even as a work in progress. Like, just if you just did up that skin and like obviously just threw something over these, I'd be really happy to receive this
Yeah,
miniature.
I am still looking forward to seeing how you do the eyes because, like, right now the eyes are sort of throwing off everything because everything else looks really good, especially the little
Yeah,
face
this looks
bag.
really interesting.
Yeah, really like how you've done that.
Mm, mm.
The bronzy carved of bronze or something.
Mm. It does look very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. All right, so shall we move on to final Thomas?
Final Thomas, and his look beautiful, and he touched the wrong thing. Okay,
Oh
here's
wow!
the blue boy Jovan.
Just look at that for a second.
I know he's very handsome. He look like Henry Cavill.
Not everything is Henry Cavill. I know there's some people will be upset by such a comment, but it's true.
Does look like him. Oh,
Okay. All right.
anyway, my first ever orc as well. Pictures came out a bit muted, but I think it adds a bit of the grim darkness or just how I try to comfort myself. I think think it looks really good. I mean, especially with like you said, a bit of a grim dark look to him. And I think in the video games, it's kind of similar to this sort of shade of blue. But I think it's a bit more saturated, but, it does look really...
Well, he did say it looked a bit muted with the camera shots.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, I think this guy's probably perfect. Like, I feel like this, though, is the right color for that sort of wound.
Yeah, it's like so bruised or something.
Yeah, like, it's not just like... It's not just smeared blood. It feels bruised and swelling.
Yeah.
Right? And it feels as if, like, this guy has really gone through it. Like, you see...
Thomas, you should consider submitting this to some competition somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I think you do very well.
I think it is absolutely fantastic the way that you've done it.
And I mean, look at the way he's done the damage within the pauldron.
Mm-hmm.
Like, look at how deep those divots go. So... Jack say, I wish I was done with this big red member of a Death Dread. Oh yes, I remember your Death Dread. You've posted it on the Discord. But yeah, he is looking glorious.
Alright, so next up we are sorry, I'm just a bit out of it, guys. I think it looks really good. I think that the way that the dirt worked turned into a bit of a happy accident. I feel like the gore feels a bit overly glossy compared to everything else. It just kind of doesn't match the feel of everything else. Because I feel like, Tomas, when I'm giving feedback on your stuff, I am being considerably harsher with you than I am with other people, because I think that you are absolutely testing yourself so much of the time, and I think that this is a really great piece. But yet, like, when I take a look at particularly the power pack right here, the way that you've got that ring right there with the darkness, but also the dirt around it, I think, grime, whatever you want to call it, I think that looks so great. I do think that you could maybe potentially choose some areas to make pop a bit more. So, for example, in here, you could have those heat burns, right? Now, I'm not saying anything that you have done here is, like, technically bad or anything. I'm just saying, so... I'm trying to find your golden angle here. Would you say it's this?
Seems that way.
Yeah, so let's imagine that that's the golden angle, right? Not this. This over here. I think that you need something to pop here to call attention, right? Because at the moment, like Sunny said, it is very grimdark. I don't know what that is. I think that the face has the most contrast at the moment, which is great. Maybe even the hair, like having a Maybelline style hair, where you've got like that really strong pop of contrast. But yeah, like taking a look at this, like maybe even pushing the Orcs green into like yellow for the final highlights, something like that. Because I look at this and like, it's a masterclass when it comes to grimdark, but it does do the sin of that all grimdark does, which is almost all the values sort of match, with the exception of the head, which is great. But yeah, so the only reason I'm being a bit harsher with you is because I think you make really good work and I hope that this feedback actually helps you. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah. F.
Right.
Ryan. Another orc flavored project getting ready for October. Initial composition done and basing put together. Model and base have separately been xenithal highlight using color forged matte black base, standard gray mid, ghoul gray high, and matte white ultra high 85 to 90 angle front only.
So I think the way that he has done everything here is really great. I'd even call it a masterclass. So what I want us to focus on is he's got a lot of pictures here. Yeah, okay. Is this right here? So first off, he maps out the height of everything. He's like, all right, how am I going to do all of this, right? And then he puts the skulls in so that he knows roughly how much dirt I can put on things. I do think that here he could have kept some of the stuff extruding to give more texture. I think the amount of sand he's put over it has sort of reduced the visual interest. Would you agree?
Yeah, because it kind of lost the steppiness of the cork.
I think that's the point. He wanted to lose the steppiness, but I think like right here, over there, right, you could have like some stone popping out from the gravel like he does in the back, which we will have to like over here. And I think just little things like that can really help. I think he's a very interesting little character that he's got here. It is 100% not standard, and like if he's going to do the whole grimdark thing with this guy, I think that will look very cool. But yeah, we'll see how things go. It's a great start, right? It's a fantastic start.
It is.
Alright, so next up we have
Iskanda is here and he's saying that looks so good. I think maybe he was talking about Tomas's thing.
it could have been Tomas's or it could have been Ryan's. Alright, so next up we've got Andy.
Andy! More work on Jinx this evening, shifted to purple pants, which I think worked. Going to be doing some pin washes to add contrast, and there are still areas that need smoothing out. Also made a start on the base, again trying out colors, shifting paints, which are a bit to photograph. Okay, but we'll keep going.
Yeah, so I think once we clean up the pants a bit and have some more intense highlights on Jinx's skin, I think that things will really start coming together.
Yeah, because like I think that's something that you can really step up at with Andy is like really pushing your skin work, like really adding more depth in the shadow and the highlights. Because oftentimes it does turn out quite flat, the skin work that I've seen you do. And even the hair, if you like, you could try out a Maybelline style hair look if you want. You know, really push those highlights and stuff like that. RJ is a great person to reference his work as well. So yeah, you know, like no reason why you can't go for it. You know.
Alright, so next up...
I'll say, I don't know what I won't immediately think of the Pokemon when I hear Jinx.
You know, because there's the Jinx Pokemon?
Yeah.
Do you know that the Jinx Pokemon was made off one of those spirits that we were looking at when we were looking at... when we were looking at the Teikoku stuff? Yeah. Yeah, she is like a completely black woman. Like, it's like in the pictures, her colors are basically inverted from like how they draw a normal person.
Well, we have James. So when I was young, The Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring released and it changed my life. I took a big interest in fantasy and sci-fi books and TV shows, and because I have a large family in New Zealand, my family went on holiday there around the time Return of being released at movies. I had brought a paperback of The Lord of the Rings and read it in the backseat of the car as we drove around New Zealand doing holiday stuff. Soon after that we got the Lord of the Rings Battle Games magazine, and I bought all of them, and that was how I first got into model painting. Jump forward a number of years to September 2023, I had quit and sold all the tools slash paints a long time ago. But I have gotten into board games and wanted my board game models painted. I found someone on Etsy who, if you paid him to paint and ship your game to him, he would paint them. But as I looked over his examples, I was not impressed. I just kept thinking I could do better, or at least something I would like more, so I made the choice to get back into model painting. So here I am on my 2-year anniversary posting the first project I completed. Should I do a post with all my models I have painted in the last year? Did anyone else get started with the Lord of the Rings Battle Games magazine?
Well, I do know that at least one of my clients did. I know that a lot of people got started with the Lord of the Rings models. And I think that this is a really cool Throwback Thursday sort of post, like where you go, here is where I began. And, we can really sort of see the difference between now and then. These guys are a lot glossier than his current stuff. But yeah, just, yeah. Oh, and I just wanted to end.
Raven's on.
Yeah.
Sorry about the grammar. I'm currently sick. That my excuse for the grammar.
It's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to answer Elle's question. No, so that particular witch is a snow witch. That's why Jinx is a snow creature.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's based off that particular legend. But yeah, so anyway, like I think it is good looking back, because I think we did a short relatively recently where we said always keep your first mini.
Yeah.
And I think in my opinion, you should not buy so much that you can't keep all of the miniatures that you paint. Right. For us, it's a bit different because we're commission painting, right? So that means that like half of the stuff that we paint, in fact, more than half, is going to other people, right? It's not ours. But unless you're in that particular area, I think you should keep all of the miniatures you paint because of exactly what we said on the short. It is a physical representation of your grit, your ability to push through and get something done. And it's also a physical representation of how much you have grown. And like some of the times it might not be a big thing, right? It might be like these guys are like this, and then the next one, like the next guys are very similar, except one thing's different, and then so on and so forth. And then like by the time you get to the final ones, you're like, wow, look how much I progressed.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really important to remember. Don't give yourself too much of a hard time, and look at how much you have progressed. Look at how much effort you put in, and you'll congratulate yourself. All right, so let us move on to
Krisha.
yes.
Is this Tabletop Plus Plus character? Not sure, but definitely did try a bit harder on just about every part. Maybe one tiny step more for everything, although in the end went with relatively distinct colors for models to be easily recognizable by the weapons they hold. I'd consider it character.
So, I answered in a comment before I went on. So here's my thoughts, my dude. It's not for us to decide, okay? What we call tabletop is this. We've got 3 different levels. We say that there's tabletop, there's character level, and then there's showcase. So what we say tabletop is just tabletop is every single part of the model is recognizable. The gun is recognizable as a gun. The sword is recognizable as a sword, but not just a sword, but a Necron sword.
Oh.
Right? Because these are Death Watch models, so like they're allowed to use Xenos weaponry.
Mm-hmm.
And just things like that. The shield looks like a shield, right? You've got your runes there, all of this sort of thing. So like
each element is distinct.
Yes.
And you could have achieved it in any way, like zenithal and then contrast paint, like whatever way that you find is quickest to paint. But every single element is distinct from each other. But here you've put in a lot more effort where you can see that you've done the power weapons with the plasma style, you've done a bit more contrast in the face, you've done highlighting in the hair, you've done very beautiful gradients with the Necron sword like we saw earlier. What else have you done? Power sword. You also did something cool with the power sword. So
he's got a sort of lightning effect on it.
yeah, so I think this I would
Well,
consider.
I'll finish off, right, and just say this, right? So that's tabletop level. But character level is your personal best, right? It means left to your own devices, this is the best you can achieve when you're not like
overthinking things.
Yeah,
like,
when
like trying to push yourself. You're just
you're just painting to the best of your ability, and you're like, once the zen goes off, you're like, oh yeah, I really like this.
Yeah.
But what we call the difference between character level and showcase is when you're pushing yourself to your absolute limit. You're trying out new
You mean showcase, right?
Yeah. Did I not say showcase?
So maybe you did.
Yeah. So with showcase, you're pushing yourself to your absolute limit. You are trying out new techniques and so on. And so I have a feeling that for you, this is closer to character level than it is showcase, because I think that you do very well with a lot of things. Like, here's an example, right? You've still got pretty jagged lines along here, and like, here are some things that I would recommend that you could do to step stuff up. So first off, I want to recognize that, like Sunny said, your faces are much more impressive this time round, I would say. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yep. The next part I would say is, like, I think you could intensify the glows with ink washes. So putting a white ink wash here could really just absolutely make that pop. And having a white ink wash just on here to give that glow around the nodule there. I think that would really help step stuff up. And the other part of it is you can do great effects like here. So here, rather than having this area be darkened, you use that white wash, right? White oil wash. You put that in here. It flows into the recesses beautifully. And you put it around this. Wait for it to dry. Because, I don't know if you're like me, but I get impatient. Sunny knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll actually give an example, hopefully. Yep. So you see this battle axe here? That was done almost entirely with that technique. So I put white into there, and then I blended the red. I think I started with the yellow and then blended the red with the yellow to make the orange, and then put some red at the end. And then once all of that had dried, I put white and like a mixture of blue around the wolf heads to make that effect. So, it's just the very next post.
Hair dryer for those impatient moments.
No,
I'm
don't
not the
trust that. Don't trust the hair dryer. Don't. I know that you want to, but don't. It's a bad girl. But yeah, just things like that can make things like these things a bit easier. So I thought this was interesting right here, the way that you did the sort of frost axe, the way you wanted to have it there. But then when I looked at, for example, this, I was like, I felt that you could do something more with this, because
he was trying to go for like a glowing axe head or
yeah. And see, like, I feel like this isn't quite on the same level that this is over here, right? And just in my opinion, it's just my opinion, but keeping that same level of effort within a squad really helps things, because I think all of their faces look great, and with that, right, that's what sort of keeps all of these guys cohesive, right? Along with their armor, which looks a bit different. I think it's the sort of 30k design instead of the 40k. But regardless, they all look great, right? But I'm saying, when you see this, you're like, oh, cool, there's that there. And then you look at that and you're like, oh, okay. Do I need to look at an individual picture of that? And when it comes to the 3-foot rule, that looks great there. But I think, Chris, if you want to push yourself, oils is the next place that I'd look to go. I definitely think that these are your character level, but I do think that with very little pushing, you could really step up, because you're very consistent, and I think that consistency is the key to stepping up. The other thing is measure. Unless you can measure something, you can't improve. All right, but
well, good night, Elle. I saw that it's 5 a.m. for you.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right, and if anybody wants to come on
to the Discord, and if you have the Discord, please come on to the stream room and
give us a hard time.
Give us feedback for our work as well.
All right, so Sunny, do you want to say anything about these ones?
I think overall the fur that you've done turned out very nice.
That's this one here.
I actually really like the way you've done the fur. I'm fairly happy with the wolves, but I still feel I could have done better with the wolves.
I really like the way this guy turned out.
Yeah.
I think he turned out well.
I actually did the detailing in the eyes as a final bit, because I was looking at the 360 turnarounds, and they actually did up the pupils in the eyes, so I'm pretty happy with the fact that some pupils. Prisha, I'm here today. Thanks for checking out the Death Watch.
Of course, my dude.
Well.
But yeah, I'm
also quite happy with the battle axe turned out quite
so nice. I'm in two minds. I'm really happy with the way that the cracks turned out, but I think like the sort of crackling edge didn't quite turn out the way that I had 100% wanted. I wanted it to feel like all almost lavary, like it was like that was the whole idea I had going with this, you know, that sort of lavary look, and that I've seen it with some other lava weapons where it's sort of got that crackling feeling, but I don't think I quite got it on this one. All right, you wanted to say some more?
I think the face and all those extra details really came out. Like you also did the servos and the copper color. Thought that came out very. I was pretty happy with the way I did the scarring.
I tell you what,
that's it.
That pupil there, just beautiful.
Yeah, and the other picture you'll see with the other wolf, it's more obvious. But I love the battle damage. The battle damage came out really nice.
Yeah.
Chris Shah say, I noticed some parts of the blue armor was edge highlighted more than other parts. Is that to emphasize lighting?
So do you can you be more specific on that one? Are we talking about the feet versus the arms, or yeah, if you could just be more specific, that would be helpful so that I know what you're speaking about.
But sorry, you were trying to say something about
the witch.
I think about the fur, maybe? We're talking about the wolf eyes. Oh, Iskandar say, I love how Sam Lenz did a pelt in one of his, or was it Uncle Atom?
I'm not sure. Yeah, both the feet compared to the gauntlet holding the axe. Okay, so
the feet a bit lighter, is it?
No, I think the gauntlet's holding the axe. And yes, so if we go back to our thing here, right? So it's about your triangle. So at the moment, when it comes to painting, there's a couple of rules, right? You've got a couple of things here, right? Usually the shoulder pads are your triangle. It goes head, shoulder pads. But our triangle's a bit messy here. So, like, up here, we've got the fur. You know, we've got the Volta, which is in yellow, right? And then we've got the axe over here. So, what we want to do is sort of draw a line down to the axe. Because the axe is kind of the feature of this model, right? I'm not saying that, like, the wolf that Sunny did isn't any good or anything like that. Or that, like, the wolf pelt isn't any good, right? I'm just saying, like, because, like, lore-wise and painting-wise, I think that it looks pretty impressive, like, particularly this area. And so, remember that you only have, like, somebody's usually only going to look at a picture for about 5 seconds, right? Like, tops. That's as much as you'll get out of the average person. So you've got to use every single trick that you can to draw their eye. And so currently, right, I do believe because of the sort of Terminator armor, right, it will be drawn like this sort of thing. So we see the head here, right? Head's impressive. That flows over there. Goes to these highlights, goes to this. And that's sort of how you want to have it. Does it always work? No. Should you try? Yes. Right? It's about it's about trying to get people to look where you want, more or less. But yeah. So you were talking about the battle damage?
Yeah, the battle damage I thought turned out pretty nice.
Yeah. So the client asked, like, oh yeah, just some battle damage, not over the top. But there is one thing that I am a little miffed about, which is the top of his power armor. Because with the top of his, sorry, I shouldn't say power armor, Terminator armor.
Okay.
I put a bit of work into the top of his Terminator armor.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't realize that it was going to be completely covered.
by the...
Not just like a little covered, but yeah, like completely covered.
Just add a little fluorescent to grab attention.
Yeah, well, like that is one thing, but like no fluorescent here, but I still think it grabs a lot of attention. Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool because what I wanted to do is I wanted it to be accurate to the lore, like. The idea is that this axe holds a demon, and that this demon is contained by the magics of Fenris. So, what I had was like these parts, the wolf heads, right, the rune, this glowing blue, to show that magic of Fenris, and then as we get further away from it, right, it becomes more and more fiery, more and more demonic, right? As if like its nature is unleashed the further away it is from the pure magics of Fenris.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's pretty good. Obviously, there's a few things I like about it, but yeah. All right, shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right, so next up we have Navi.
Navi, hey gang, been a while once again. I've been building up my first proper 40k army, which is Death Guard in the past few weeks. Been having fun so far. It's gonna say lore accurate can be very limiting.
Can be, but I think like that lore accurate looks better than the GW official where it's just sort of red.
Right. I've been building my first proper 40k army, which is Death Guard, in the past few weeks. Been having fun so far. Today, however, I also celebrate my birthday, and as a little treat, I decided to finally finish one of my semi-painted characters. Had a blast with this one. I gotta say, Death Guard are deceptively simple to paint when you look at them from afar. But when you're actually painting them, you realize they have so much more details, and given the nature of Death Guard / Nurgle, you can get away with whether or not you paint them. Lol, that's true.
Yeah, so I think that this is a really, really good piece. So like, I'll explain why.
Oh, I'm back. Also, happy birthday.
Yes.
Welcome back, Jack.
So, like right here, I think that's cool and fine. But what I think is really cool is, come on, this.
Huh?
Like, see these fleshy parts in between that fleshy membrane. The pipes being that toxic green, and this very sort of what kind of purple would you call this?
Looks like pitcher plant.
Pitcher plant purple.
Pitcher plant purple.
Yeah, but see, like, this distinctly says, I'm an evil dude. Like, obviously, the character of the thing, right? But it's
the
all...
royal purple color.
Yeah, the corruption of... The corruption of the power, right?
Yeah.
With the green.
Yeah.
And I think that does it in a way far more than like the usual Death Guard green does.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks absolutely fantastic. I absolutely adore the way that he's done this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think it looks really, really good. I really, really like it. I think that it looks really nice. He's chosen a specific style with the way that he's highlighted and such, right? I think that's going to put a lot of work into these models. It's going to make things take quite a bit of time, the way that he sort of does the sketchy highlights and such. Like, that's not my personal preference at all. I prefer to be done sooner, but other than that, I think, like... This is absolutely fantastic. What are your thoughts?
I think it looks very grim dark. I think it has all the right elements of grim dark, but without making it look sort of just a dark mess. You have the right amount of saturation in the places where you would want saturation, like the armor, the piping. It has a good sort of toxic feel to it.
I do think that he could give a bit more color to the rust with some oranges and such, or even like some desaturated reds and such. But
I like it as is. It's not like super corrupted rust or anything, but
okay, all right, fair enough.
yeah.
All right, let us move on to
Cal.
more Cal Benoni.
The Blue Wing Abomination, or I'm a Beautiful Butterfly.
Yes.
It is definitely something.
I think that he's done really well with the colors here.
Yeah, like every single part is something different now, Cal, which is really good. I'm not so entirely sure about the membranes, the color that you've chosen for the membranes in the wings, because you've done a blue, and then you've done like, I don't know what kind of, like a greenish thing.
We'll see. I think it does very much feel like an abomination.
Yeah.
So if I remember my 3.5 well, you had a number of different categories for monsters, right? So you have undead, you have humanoids, you have natural animal, magical beast, and one of the other big ones was abominations. And so the whole idea is that they are complete corruptions of nature in the same way that undead is the breaking of the cycle of life and death. So I think like this is meant to be one of those sort of pretty butterfly wings, except no, it's just all wrong. Everything's wrong. But like I think it does everything that it should. I think like I really like the gradients and color. I think it's a really nice piece. Is there anything else that you would?
I think the membrane of the wings could have been a slightly different color, so because it's very close to the blue, the value.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, I think it's a good piece.
Yeah. All right. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
All right. So next up,
We got Penguin.
we do have Penguin.
My love for Toyota made it into a model. 1980s Land Cruiser, rust bucket technical. I stippled Vallejo rust texture over the prime surface, followed by some additional rust tones. And it's looking like a real truck. And this is Penguin's strengths. You know, he was saying that he looked at RJ's work or Iskandar's work last week, and he just feels like I should just stick to what I know. And it's like, it's not necessarily that you should stick to what you know. Everyone has their strengths, you know? Like, RJ's very good with skin work. And Iskandar's very good with those eye saturation color schemes and
Well, particularly the anime style.
you know, but they're both painting minis, but they both have their strengths. You know, Penguin has his strengths with coming up with some really great realistic vehicles.
And I want to skip to the last one because he's actually got an update on this.
And look at all those different tones.
And so he shows
like that, yeah.
But you know, he's talking about the 1980s Land Rover, right? And I remember there's a meme that goes around the internet. I'd play it, but I'm pretty sure that the music is whatever. You know, maybe we can play it because we're not monetized on this channel. So no shaking head. All right.
No, as in we are not monetized.
Yeah, no.
We are not monetized. Yeah. So.
Maybe I can find it.
I don't know. It might take a while. What do you think? Will it take a while?
Oh, okay. Well, how about you talk about what you think of it for a moment, and I'll see if I can find it.
think Penguin, currently at least, it looks like just all rust. So I don't know.
One sec. I hope it won't play automatically. Yeah. Okay. Give me a sec. I found it. I didn't take that long, did I?
Nope.
All right. Here we go. And this is the meme that goes around.
Oh shit.
Oh dear.
Look how much damage that survived, and it's still working.
It's the Nokia.
Yeah, it is the Nokia
trucks.
phone of trucks.
There
It
you
truly
go.
is. Look, there's a reason why it appears in all sorts of conflict zones.
Yeah,
It's
right.
because it's a very
It's a
good
tank
truck. Well, yeah, no, like
It's a trank.
it's a trank. But yes,
Trunk.
it's trunk.
A trunk. Yeah.
Get in the trunk.
Get in the trunk.
But yeah, no, it's really good, and I'm gonna enjoy seeing what he does with it. Cause yeah, it's something that we'll be able to compare 1-to-1 with, like this right here. Cause yeah, it's
Look at that rust bucket.
yeah, but it's indestructible.
Oh yeah.
It'll.
I mean, look at the windows and the headlights. Still very clear,
Mm.
very clean.
But
You know.
yeah. So I'll look forward to seeing what Penguin does with this one. But in the meantime, let's finish up with now our final post by Larry.
Larry, I figured I wouldn't be able to match the instant color skin, so I just redid everything with dark warm flesh and layered up to warm flesh glazes. Added thin sepia wash to the fingers to help them stand out, and re-highlighted the knuckles. Used the same wash to edge the areas between the skin and the clothing. I've never liked black lining as such, but this provided a gentle shadow instead. Black for the hair and the white for the upper teeth. Mixed them together to add some grey to the hair and beard. Painted the eyes and eyebrows, a bit of pink on the tongue, and a little of the pink mixed with the flesh for the lower lip. Painted the yellow onto the lion head jacket. The mane was washed in thin instant color werewolf brown, so the crevices would be dark. Ran the side of the brush over the top of the mane with the yellow on it just to see how it would how it would look, but I'll finish the jacket later.
Yeah, no, I think it's come up great. I really like the way that Larry shows off all of the things that he uses.
Yeah.
Right, I think that's it's actually kind of funny, because one of the things, like one of the commenters said in the Discord was who is this even for? Oh, it was Penguin. Penguin said, "Who is this ultimate 180 painter set for? Even if you're a pro painter." And I said, "Hobby collectors."
Yes.
And Larry's like, And I was like, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're thinking of yourself. You're thinking of yourself.
Yes. But yeah, no, I really do love that he actually shows all of this, because I think, like, this is one of the really great things. You know, we've got all sorts of levels of different painters, right? And I think having, you know, everyone from Lance and Cal all the way up to, you know, really, really super high level people like Brushstrokes and Genuine Vision.
Oh yeah.
Like, I think having, you know,
The Allens have gone missing.
Yes, the Allens have gone missing. I think that really helps, because you can come in here and you can go, oh, you know, I'm not an anomaly. I'm just a normal person, you know? Like, and you can compare your progress to someone. You can go, oh, okay, well, you know, like, this is who I think I'm at the level of. Or the more important thing is just posting your whips and feeling comfortable with it. Because what I love is seeing all of the different styles. Because, like, take a look here. We've got old school Warhammer, right? Compared to the really bright colors of the Marvel Crisis stuff, and then chibis, and then we got homemade stuff.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
and
Hero Quest, regular
yeah,
Warhammers.
yeah, and like stuff from
TV
everywhere.
Show model.
Yeah, all sorts of stuff, and I think that's what really makes this place. I think what makes this place is all of you guys, right? It's not the rules, you know. I feel like if I disappeared tomorrow, you guys would still keep making this place what it is, right? And I hope that, you know, one day if I do, that you guys will keep making the place that it is, because it's not just me and it's not just Sunny. It's all of you guys who help make the place what it is. You guys create the culture just as much as we do. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining us. And, as always, keep those brushes wet. Bye-bye. Bye everyone. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, everyone's talking about the Hilux.
Yeah. It's just nice to have people to look at it. Thank you for doing this. No problem,
course.
Chris. All right, bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.